what my hardest time is? My hardest time before weight loss surgery and now even after surgery is the times that are coming up. Surgery is just one tool. It's time to put the other tools in the toolbox because it's your body, your health, your life. Here in the US, the holiday stretch is coming, meaning from Thanksgiving all the way to New Year's. All the things are there and right in your face. I'm talking about food, my favorites, my family's favorites, all the choices, the variety, the cooking and the baking, the gifts of food, the special treats, the celebrations, the gatherings, the parties, the multiple sittings of one meal multiple times a day, and the unlimited or limited seasonal products. It's all coming. I like to call it the big binge. In this video, we're going to talk about a strategy that we can use, cheat responsibly, still enjoy our favorites without it becoming a 2-month binge. Let's be honest, for some of us, it starts Halloween night. Am I right? And it goes all the way to January 2nd because we all know that January 1st is detox day, or more like a binge coma day, coming off a big binge. Are you with me? Is that you? By the way, if you are subject to Halloween all the way to January 2nd, that's actually 64 days. 64 days. How much damage can we do in 64 days? Can you relate? Like for me, it doesn't mean just one cheat meal. This season really is the hardest. Years, especially before surgery and now even post-surgery, it rears its head again. But this is the hardest season because what would happen with me, I would allow myself the whole time a free pass to go wild. It was like that whole concept of, oh, I'll start my diet on Monday phenomenon, but on like steroids. And the outcome each and every time sometimes was a couple of pounds gained and then a lot of pounds gained. And maybe even heavier than the regain, the weight gain is the burdenness, the heaviness of the shame, guilt, and judgment. And all the negative self-talk that goes along with it, and you eventually feel like you just want to give up. But be it this season or not, it's other times as well, like birthday parties. It's the family night Sunday meals. It's the football games. It's going out for dinner with friends. It's happy hour. It's the office party. There are occasions all year round that we need to navigate. And just because we had surgery, weight loss surgery, doesn't mean the big binge is not going to happen anymore. And it actually comes at even a bigger price. All that hard work we've done, all that sacrifice, all that preparation to lose the weight after weight loss surgery is at jeopardy, as well as you know, all those eyes on us, all those eyes watching us, confirming that our surgery decision was a waste. And our new compromised bodies could get even sicker. And of course, our long-term goals will be jeopardized. A strategy that allows us to cheat responsibly without the shame, guilt, and judgment. Still maintain control and prevent that downward spiral of despair. If you stick around, I'm going to give you some additional steps that'll help you in case you did cheat, and it'll help you kind of stop before you give up entirely. Some real talk first, right? I know this is for me. Is this for you? Can you relate to this? We're not typically people that can just cheat and say, oh, well, I had a cheat day, I had a cheat meal, and move on and get back to normal. We're not those people that like had a cheat day and then the next day go, oh yeah, I'll just have a salad. There are people out there, relatives of mine, that can do that without blinking an eye. They don't get out of control. But guess what? That's not me. Is that you? If it is you, congrats, sincerely. Let us know some of your tips in the comments below. But that doesn't mean we should be deprived on not enjoying those special occasions. We just need to figure out how to navigate through it. So let's kind of understand what's going on. We all have triggers, especially around holiday season. Some are based around nostalgia, kind of the excitement of coming together, good or bad. Sometimes we are excited to come together, but then there's the added stress of being together. Maybe your mother, your grandmother, or your family friend, or someone cooks their signature dish that you've been waiting all year round to try. But what is really happening is that it's not so much the food, the signature dish. A lot of times it's kind of the anticipation around it. The nostalgia, the good memories, the good feelings, and represents love, family, happiness. And sometimes like these favorite dishes, these dishes that we wait all year round to have, it's really hard to say no to. We might want to say no, but without some preparation and planning, it quickly gets out of control. And that behavior, that binging behavior, starts to take hold. So let's try to combat that with this strategy. It's going to sound simple. It sounds like a lot of common sense, but for some reason, we don't seem to utilize it. Part 1, eat before the event. Yes, eat before. By doing that, you take away a lot of the temptation, especially if you're going somewhere that you don't have any control over the food that's going to be served. I call it fill before you fall. Have a small meal of good protein and good fats that'll keep you full and satiated, satisfied. Make sure the day of the event, right before the event, that you've filled up on your water intake. Make sure you're taking your vitamins, your electrolytes. By doing this, you'll be amazed at how much control you will gain and have. But it does take some thought and some planning. It just allows you to take some time mentally and physically to think about the items you really want and decide if you want to try them. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, but you want to put some time in before. We all know what that feels like. We come into the event, we come into the room, we come to the restaurant, we come to even our family, our own family home, to the meal. We are hyper focused, and all those temptations are surrounding us. And we believe the myth that we tell ourselves that we can control it. You have to remember there's a build up to this, there is an anticipation, be it subconsciously or consciously, dreaming of all the things. And the myth is, if we can't have them, then we won't have fun. If we can't have them, I'll feel super deprived. These are the lies we tell ourselves. These are the mind games that happen if we're not full, if we're not satisfied before and blindly going into the event. When you go to the event not prepared and not feeling full, we tell ourselves subconsciously, I'm powerless. Oh well, let it be. I'll deal with it when I'm there. But the reality is, when we get there, we feel overwhelmed. And you don't just eat a couple things, you eat all the things. So eating before on good things, feeling a little full and in control is game-changing advice. So part 2, you're full when you get there. So now you've gotten there, you've eaten a little bit before, you're feeling full. The second thing you do before you try any of those tempting things that you want to try, you have to eat your protein first. If that's turkey or pulled pork or ham, chicken, whatever it is, fish, eat protein first. Then you can add the veggies, like the leafy greens, the non-starchy veggies. You must eat this as well before you decide to cheat. So protein first, and then the leafy green veggies before you decide to cheat. Then you get to decide, do I really want this thing? So remember, imagine maybe it's the special dish that your mom made you all through your life. Maybe it's the dish that you absolutely love. Maybe it's your birthday and you want a piece of that special cake that someone made you. Remind yourself, these have a lot of memories surrounding it. So let's talk about this. So since surgery, we've changed our bodies. Our digestive tracts, no matter what procedure we've done, has been compromised. Our gut biomes have changed. Some of us have food intolerances, developed some food allergies. You have changed. If you're the ones that have continued with the low carb lifestyle after surgery, after you've gotten to the solid foods phase, your body is literally using a different source of fuel. Take that all into consideration before you load up on those items that you feel you must have. Because there's a good chance if you load up and try all the things that you want to try without any preparation, without taking the steps we talked about, you might experience a dumping situation or feel super terrible, like physically and mentally. Like one time I didn't follow this strategy. I didn't do the things that, I talked about here today. And I loaded up on my favorite thing. And not just that favorite thing, all the things. It really was like a scene out of a horror movie or a zombie movie. I became super sick. It totally ruined my fun. I had to remove myself from the event early. I was literally in pain, like suffering. And then, of course, all the guilt and shame followed. I became depressed and the binge eating began. I just opened the door to days and days and days of it. So if only I would have followed my own advice, followed this strategy, there would have been a good chance I would have had a couple spoonfuls of my favorite dish and it didn't become the horror it was. The wasted time, the months ahead of neglect, poor choices, and the resentment that followed, and as well as the regain. It really helps to go to an event with the mindset that you can have that dish or a taste of that dish. And then prepare, use the strategy. It will help control and navigate your choices and also help you to mitigate the damage that you'll be doing. Sounds like common sense, right? But it can't be common sense. Not common sense for me, anyways, because I lived many years doing it. I want to stop doing it. I want to cheat, but I want to cheat responsibly. So let's say you use this strategy and you still slipped up. Let's talk about after you cheated, like immediately after you cheated. Like, I don't mean having a cheat where you decided, prepared, had a few spoonfuls. I mean where you were at the event and you had a full-blown cheat. You know the difference. So it happened. You had a cheat. I mean, you just had it, not the days right after. I want to be very clear here. This is the most important time. It's a fork in the road. You're either going to go down this road or you choose to go down this road. One of the roads most likely leads to months of binge eating and gain. So what you do is you get back on track immediately the next day. No, I'll wait till Monday. No, I'll wait till January 2nd. None of that. You get back on track immediately the next day after the cheat. For example, if Thanksgiving in the US is on a Thursday, you're not waiting till Monday. You're getting back on track on Friday. Because if you wait till Monday, you have Thursday night, you have all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can gain a lot of weight in that time frame, but you also build up a lot of fluid, inflammation, stress in your body. You're going to probably become lethargic, and maybe even more importantly than that, you're going to let yourself down emotionally. And be it a couple pounds or a lot of pounds, for me, for some of us, in a blink of an eye, it's a year. It's a year later. So what can we do after we decide and choose to take the non-binging road? First of all, don't accept any leftovers. None. None. You're not taking any home. If you indulged, let it all stay there. Let it all stay at the event. Don't bring it home with you physically or mentally. Immediately increase your water intake, your fluid intake. This will help you flush out toxins, sugars, and overall inflammation. This is going to sound weird, but drink a little shot of diluted apple cider vinegar. Try exercising your big muscle groups like your quads, your buttocks. Do some squats, some hamstring exercises, some quad exercises, some butt kicks. It helps to use up some of that extra glucose that you probably put into your body And then be proud of yourself for not taking the binging road, from not turning that blind eye and just avoiding all the pain and guilt and just moving forward by coping and eating all the things until you are 2 months later. Be proud of yourself. And then you're going to prepare, plan, self reflect, and be conscious and do things differently the next event. It'll help you to fully engage and appreciate the people you are with versus the food they're bringing and the addictive behavior that gets in your way. So, using this strategy, preparing, and having that mindset to cheat responsibly allows you to enjoy both worlds, a little cheat and keeping in control and not going off the deep end. Now, if you're a person that's watching this and you're going, well, that's just common sense. And there's a lot of people out here that think, what are you talking about? But those people typically probably are not subject to binge eating, don't have a food addiction, and aren't using food to cope with all the stresses in life. But I can't speak for you, but I can speak for me. I'm just not one of those people. Is this a problem for you that's bigger than just the odd food event here and there? If you need to understand binge eating at a little bit of a deeper level, check out this video. Have a great day, cheat responsibly, and we'll see you in the next video.